Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Andrew, and we're brothers, and this is the Daniel and Andrew Show,
where we give our opinions about movies and TV and movies about alien symbiotes that's not Venom that we've been watching lately. So, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
It is going. I've had a busy week and a half. Got a show coming up on Saturday, and we kind of crammed all the promotion that we're doing for it in this last week and a half. And not only am I trying to promote this show and get this show, on its feet, I'm also in it. So not only am I doing that, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta perform. So I gotta learn those songs that I'm doing, which is 3 of them. So yeah, I put a lot on my plate at the last minute here. So busy. But it's exciting. It's at
What's
my work.
Show?
We're doing a cabaret, like a showcase. It's the second showcase that we're doing. So yeah. So it's just a mix of people, and my friend's doing a little bit of stand-up. Yeah, it's going to be a good show. So yeah. Lots of work on that. So I barely had time to see the movie this week, but that's okay. I fit it in there. So this week we're going to talk about Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle came out and didn't do that great. But the director got himself a gig. They had already put in this a script before the writer's strike. Jason Momoa and Batista will reteam from their season of C there to do a movie for MGM. And the guy who directed Blue Beetle on Hell Manuel Soto is going to direct the movie.
And we don't know what movie.
It's called like Wrecking Crew or something like that. It's going to be an action movie, of course, because it's those two guys. This will be like their third thing that they've been in together. People are acting like this is like some new thing. They were both in Dune. Also they were on. They were both in it, and they're in C.
They were there to say ha.
Yeah, and then they were in C. So
they were brothers in that.
They're brothers in that.
In C, yeah.
Well, the show Frontier, that show that Jason Momoa did. Jason Momoa did a couple shows that like 5 people watched. But the producer of that show is producing this movie. I think Frontier was kind of like a Western-ish. I can't remember exactly.
It's like a military kind of, like an old school military show or something.
Oh, okay.
Period piece thing.
Anyway, I like Jason Momoa. I like Batista, so I'm cool with that. Dave Batista. So cool, bring it on. I like action movies. So far, I've only seen one thing from the director, and I was okay with it, so I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we got several trailers here to latch on to the trailer train. Let's talk about the shortest one first, which was Good Burger 2.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Looks very kiddie.
Yeah. Well, it was part of a kid's show, and then
I don't know. I thought they might target some more like adults because we grew up, right? But it's very kiddie looking, which is fine. I'm probably not gonna watch it, but
yeah. Well, Yeah, I think they went a little more adult with like the iCarly reboot and then Zoe 102. So this one, it just seems like they're just being the characters. But then again, it was like 30 seconds. So
Yeah.
no clue what the actual movie will be like. But I, yeah, it is always kind of weird when, you do a movie when you're young and then you come back many years later and then you're like 40 and you're doing that, or
Same.
even like, Dumb and Dumber 2. Like
Mm-hmm.
they made it in the 90s and then they came back like 25 years later and did another one and then they're like in their 60s. It's kind of weird
Yeah.
doing that, but we'll see. I thought I might watch like Zoe 102 and I never did. So it's still there. It's not like it's going anywhere, but
It'll look pretty bad.
I know it looked bad, but like, I watched the whole show, like, and I remember when it ended and all that stuff. So, I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally making stuff from our childhood now. Like it's like literally the things that they're trying to hit.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to hit on, the nostalgia of our time. So, yeah, you would think I'd be interested. And I am. It piques my interest and then I forget about it. So, anyway. All right. Cool. Yeah, the jokes weren't funny in the trailer. All right.
I mean, we now know that that's water.
Oh yes, very funny.
I did slightly like smile, giggle at it, but it was stupid.
Yeah, I laughed after like the trailer was over just because I cringed so hard. It was like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Speaking of something that might be in that category of cringe, Freelance with John Cena and Allison Brie.
Yeah. This is like his rundown, except it's bad looking.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is his jungle era, like The Rock has, where he just makes a bunch of jungle movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like John Cena. He is really packing them in. That's going to be his like 5th or 6th movie this year. He's in Fast X and he's...
I mean, wrestlers are, just machines.
Yeah, that's true.
They're so used to just constantly working, right? So it's probably pretty easy for him.
Yeah, get that health insurance.
I think he's way past that at that point, but yeah.
Well, as a wrestler, you're not getting health insurance. You're an independent contractor, so you know.
Mm-hmm. I think he can afford it.
He's a working actor. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I actually thought some of it was funny. I'll probably watch it. I'm fine with goofy stuff.
Yeah, and just like their chemistry wasn't really that great from what I was seeing. I don't know. I'm also not a John Cena fan, at least in the acting realm. I like him as a wrestler, but I mean, even as a wrestler, he's just all right. It's not like, I know people think he's like the greatest wrestler of all time, and he's amazing, but
yeah, I think he just had a long run, and he was just the face for so long that you can't like not talk about him. But the current face is been the champion for like 2.5 years now, and he sucks. So, anyway. So I don't know. I think the chemistry is supposed to be with her and the guy who's playing like the president guy, and he's just like the military guy that's helping. But I don't know. I like her. the director of Taken. So maybe the action will be good. I don't know.
I don't know. It didn't look that great to me. From what I saw, it looked like
Yeah,
hokey kind of looking to me.
yeah. I don't even remember. Was it on something, a streaming service, or was it just a movie? I think
It's
it's just
just
a
a
movie.
movie.
All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe the strike is hurting already.
I guess. I don't.
Well, I think they're pushing some movies out of the year, but it looks like they might be because the directors have gotten a deal already. The studios are coming to the table with the writers and the actors about the strike. It looks like it'll probably be the writers first, sometimes like in September-ish, and then the actors would follow after that. Obviously, they'd have to make a deal, but so we might be okay for the holidays on people actually being able to promote movies. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. So yeah, that was freelance. All right, so now it's time for that segment of the train here where we talk about the indie, like kind of more prestige-ish. That's big air quotes on that. Movies. Maestro. Which is a Leonard Bernstein biopic. He's the one who wrote the music for West Side Story and other films and stuff like that. Bradley Cooper's playing him, and Carey Mulligan's playing his wife. What'd you think of this trailer?
I'm trying. Did I watch this one? What's this movie called?
Maestro.
I don't think I watched this trailer. Now that I'm
Bradley
thinking.
Cooper has a big fake prosthetic nose.
Yeah, then I see what happened. I can explain it at a later time. But
All right, cool. So it's a biopic. It looks like it's definitely artsy, it's probably something I'll be interested in, and not a lot of people will be interested in. Probably get some awards buzz. Did you watch the trailer for She Came to Me?
yes,
Okay, what'd you think?
that's that.
Peter Dinklage,
One.
Anne Hathaway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of looked kind of Oscar baity to me as well. I don't know. Wasn't really my cup of tea. My wife would probably want to watch that movie, but so maybe I'll see it. What do you think?
I'm definitely interested. You got 2 Oscar winners in that. Marissa Tomei, one for My Cousin Vinny, and Anne Hathaway, one for Les Mis. So good actors in it. I like Peter Dinklage. I think Peter Dinklage is very funny. So I think him with the little dog is funny to me. So I'm down. It had me in the beginning of the trailer, I think, and then they get into like what the movie's about, and that's where it may lose me.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's these movies now that are going for more complex characters, I'll say, that are going for like Oscar stuff, and this will probably be one of those movies. The last couple of years, there's been movies like Promising Young Woman, and there was another one that just escaped my mind. Oh well, that they're trying to do something edgy and different, but with really good actors doing really good performances. But that doesn't necessarily make it like a great movie overall. But I like these actors, and I would definitely give it a chance. I have no idea who's directing it or anything, but yeah. it was pretty funny in the start, and we'll see what actually happens. Hopefully, it doesn't go too overboard or crazy.
I have a feeling it's going to.
Yeah, and Anne Hathaway hasn't had like the best run recently. I
Yeah.
don't. I think people are kind of weary on her just in general, putting her in movies because she doesn't seem to be. She's definitely not selling movies like she used to.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll see.
mean, I feel like unless you're like DiCaprio or something, that's how most of careers go. You don't win every time, you know?
Yeah, but I haven't. What's the last movie that with Anne Hathaway that you remember that did well?
Batman.
Yeah, that was over 10 years ago now.
No, yeah, I know. I don't
Yeah.
remember her liking anything that I've
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah, exactly. Like Ocean's 8 was the last movie that I remember watching her in.
Oh, yeah. She was in that. Man, I never saw that one.
Yeah, and that did bad. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe get to work on that Princess Diaries 3 before Julie Andrews is can't do it anymore or something.
I mean, honestly, if they wanted to do that, I don't think they even need Julie Andrews.
They need Julie Andrews for sure.
She can be the new grandma or whatever, and she can have her own kids or something.
Anne Hathaway can be the new grandma.
Yeah.
She's like in her 40s.
What, grandma? You know what I mean? They can age her up or something. I'm just saying they don't need Julie Andrews to continue that franchise. They've already made two with her.
I think you need Julie Andrews. It's just not be the same.
I don't think like people who like Julie Andrews are tuning into that movie or something. I don't think they tuned in for the first two.
Sure. I don't know. Whatever.
It was like a kids movie for like teens or something like that.
I know, but they played it in theaters. That movie would not have been a theater movie without Julie Andrews.
I didn't realize they played it in theaters. Honestly.
Yeah, they were in theaters. It wasn't like just a Disney Channel movie or something.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
No, it was like a
okay.
theatrical release.
The second one too?
Yeah. I saw the second one in the theater. That's why I remember.
Okay.
I was a kid. I don't even know. That's probably
clearly I lowballed this movie very hard then because I always thought it was just a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah, no, it definitely was in theater movie. Princess Diaries. First one was 2001. Director of Pretty Woman. Yeah, no, that was definitely in theaters.
Okay, well, if they do the straight to Disney Channel thing, then they don't need Julie Andrews. If they do it in the theaters, then you need Julie Andrews. Yeah.
Wow, this is like, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, lots of good people in that. I would definitely see another one of those. Also, yeah, back to the movie that we'll see about that movie.
Okay.
All right.
To our trailers.
Let's talk about Zack Snyder's Star Wars. I mean, Rebel Moon. So this movie
doesn't look like Star Wars at all.
This movie was originally written. The script was a Star Wars movie that he had written, but when Disney bought Lucasfilm, he reworked the script. So this, in fact, would have been Zack Snyder's.
From what I saw, it doesn't look like Star Wars anymore. It's not.
Yeah, well, for me, it looks like Sucker Punch because I think this movie's going to be all over the place.
I literally thought the same thing. Kind of like the graphics gave that like kind of Sucker Punch vibe.
Yeah, this makes me incredibly worried for him. I don't know, and they're gonna do it like 2 parts, so it's probably gonna be like altogether like 4 hours or something.
The more I was watching it, I started like, wow, this is a lot. but I'm still kind of digging it. So
I don't know. This is a long teaser trailer.
yeah, that was not
And
a
it's
teaser.
Well, and it's a teaser trailer because it's basically two movies. That's why it was so long. Because I think it's going to be really long. I I don't know. It lost me about halfway through. I was like, this is just
I
so
don't
much
know.
junk. It's just like this. Like I was
You
like,
don't
what?
get movies like this anymore. These like grand epic kind of movies. Um, it's got like sci-fi mixed with fantasy elements, swords that are glowing. I don't know. Look crazy.
Yeah, I think this could be Cloud Atlas here for me.
Is that the one? What's the one? Channing Tatum.
No, that's I, oh my god, what was
You know
that
what I'm
called?
talking about, though, right?
Oh
And
yeah, it was
70s Showgirl. Yeah.
Jupiter Ascending, I think is
Yeah,
what it's
yeah,
called.
yeah. I saw
No,
that movie, and man, that movie was so bad.
yeah, no, um, yeah, Eddie Redmayne's in that movie, and if that movie had come out a little bit earlier, he would not have won the Oscar that year for a different movie that he did because people would have been like, "That was horrible." um,
I did like his little roller skates in the sky, though. Not gonna lie.
okay, no, Cloud Atlas was the movie with Tom Hanks and Halle Berry. But it was like sci-fi time travel. It was the Wachowskis, like big project after
Matrix.
after the Matrix was done. Yeah, and it was horrible and flopped really hard. But this one is on Netflix, so it's not like this is not like a movie theater movie.
Man, I feel like they're gonna show it in the theater just based off of the scope of it. I mean, there's definitely budget behind this.
Yeah,
There's
well,
no way.
it's definite. There's budget behind it. It's not in the stars. It's gonna be all in the, you know,
Yeah,
production of it.
yeah.
Because like, who are
I
this?
think that's fine.
It's like Sophia Botella, Charlie Hunnam, Corey Stoll, Ed Shrieken. Like,
Yeah, none of them are like. I mean, I've seen them in other things, but none of them are like super huge movie star, right?
yeah, exactly. Ray Fisher's in it, so
I don't know what that is.
he was Cyborg in his Justice League. Yeah. So
Cyborg in his. Oh, right.
yeah,
I don't remember that movie.
there's two of them. Yeah. I don't know. It's
I
just
don't know. I will say of all the trailers, that's probably the one I'm most excited for. So,
well, yeah. That is the kitchen sink, for sure.
yeah, it definitely has the potential to flop on its face. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. When directors, when they give them just like the keys to the castle and say, "Do your passion
is he
project."
writing it?
Oh yeah, this is like his thing. This is
Like
like his passion project.
Wrote, like them talking and stuff.
Yeah,
Because he's like not a great writer, but he's really good at action and filming and stuff.
yeah. Like I said, he wrote the original, and then they've worked on it for a long time. Let's see. There's a couple other writers. They've all done. It's all like it was the Army of the Dead, and his last movie. That and then some other Netflix stuff. It said that one of the other writers co-wrote John Wick 4. So that's good, I guess. But
hopefully, I'm rooting for it. But yeah, we'll see how
it's people that have worked with him before, and there's people from 300 and stuff. It is a Zack Snyder thing for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely his baby. Um,
I mean, before like they showed any footage, it was like Zack Snyder.
oh yeah, there.
Yeah.
Well, and you can tell just from the color palette, it's Zack Snyder. I don't know. We'll see. Could be horrible. Could be really good. I I can't think of a Zack Snyder movie off the top of my head that I loved. So we'll see.
Like 300, I would say love it, but
Yeah, 300 is a good movie. But that was because also another reason probably why I liked it is because that was like his first big movie and showing his style. So like we weren't like we didn't know what his style was at that point. So now it's
gotcha.
like we know what it is.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But we're having a couple of those. We're having the guy who did Rogue One. We have his sci-fi movie coming out this year as well. That's big, crazy sci-fi movie, The Creator. So we're gonna have a lot of
It's like the AI and the robot heads or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah. And we're probably still gonna have Dune. So a lot of sci-fi movies this year. So that's good. That's I guess they're probably gonna try to move away from superhero movies.
I think that's for the best.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
If this is what we're getting, then yeah, I think that's for the best.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, I did watch some stuff.
All right.
I watched. I'm almost finished with it actually, but on Apple TV, there's a show called Silo. I think I've mentioned it to you before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. Like they hook you from like the first episode, and it's definitely one of those like shows where you want to know what happens next.
Right.
Sort of.
Right. Yeah.
And very Fallout vibes. Like where you have it's like in the future, but they're using kind of like old technology kind of stuff. So very Fallout.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far. I'd probably finish it in the next day or so. Let you know if it ends well.
Cool. Did you watch anything else?
No, I already said I watched Marvel one, right? I think that was last week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the Outlaws and stuff. I think I said I watched already. Then yeah, we're all caught up.
Yeah, I don't think I watched anything. I've just been busy working and stuff. Yeah, and then I watched Blue Beetle. So yeah, so let's talk about it then. So this week we're talking about Blue Beetle, the latest from DC.
Yeah, their next banger hit right here.
Yeah, this is their like worst opening weekend, I think. I think ever. I could be wrong on that.
Sad life.
It made less than Wonder Woman 1984, which came out literally in 2020 and was in day and date. So that's not great. And that movie was horrible. So
yeah. There's just so many horrible DC movies to pick from, but that's probably the worst one, I think.
I would say that of the DC movies this year, I would so far, which there's been 3, I would say this is the best one of the 3 for me.
We got Shazam and
Shazam
Flash.
2, Flash this, and then Aquaman maybe the end of this year.
Yeah, we'll see how Aquaman does. Yeah. What a terrible year.
So what did you think of this movie overall?
was better than I was expecting, but that's because I was honestly expecting literal trash. I was
Yeah.
expecting
Yeah. Crap. Yeah, I get it.
I was expecting to want to leave the movie the whole time. Like I did not want to see it. Um, but I actually enjoyed the film. I thought it was a lot. It was the funniness of like the family and stuff. Actually, I bought. So by far, not that it was a high bar, but definitely better than Shazam 2, and definitely better by like a million times better than Flash, because Flash was utter garbage. So
Yeah, I agree. I liked this movie. I thought this movie was actually pretty good. Um, um, I would, for me, it's a 7. I think it had the potential to be higher, but there's some things that were kind of cringe. It's pretty corny. And
oh,
if you,
for sure, I mean it's so generic. They lean on so many cliches.
well, yeah, I'm okay with cliches because there's cliches in every movie, but yeah, it's very Iron Man, the first one, Spider Man E, like I said,
Yeah,
Venom.
Spider Man in the yeah, it's literally just like pulling from all these other. I mean, that's just what's going to happen when you come out this late in the game, right?
Yeah.
You're going to look like everything else. So for you to be original at this point would be insanely difficult.
But I would say what saves this movie is the lead, which is, what's his name?
I
Jaime,
don't.
but his name is
Jamie, you
Zolo,
mean Jamie?
not
That's what he's
Jamie.
in.
His name is
Uh,
Jaime
uh,
Reyes. That's how they
okay,
say
sit
it.
down, Jamie.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, we could talk about that later. In spoilery stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that yeah, Sholo Mariduena from Cobra Kai, he's Miguel in Cobra Kai. It definitely saves this movie. He's good. I like him pretty much in every aspect in this movie. I think he does the comedy very well. I think he's like looks young enough, but he also is not
Yeah,
that.
he's got that young looking.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
also I've seen Cobra Kai, so like maybe I'm just
yeah. I mean,
you
he
know
plays a young person in that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And the family, really well done. The family stuff is good family. It's not the only, I guess. Vin Diesel has other Hispanic
Yeah,
families to worry
competition.
about.
Well, this family was way funnier than the Toretto family. I
Yeah,
can tell you
yeah.
that.
I I really enjoyed that. I think they have chemistry, him and the girl who plays Jenny. I George Lopez. I was worried he didn't wasn't horrible for me.
Yeah,
I thought he
he
did pretty
helped the
good.
movie a lot. I'd say.
Yeah, I think he did a pretty good job. The villain's fine.
Not
You
a
got
villain. It was poop.
you think so?
I'd say fine was overstating it. I think she was not good.
Oh,
She's
okay.
generic, but
I thought she
I
was
mean,
fine. Susan Sarandon, another Oscar winner here, doing a
just
job.
yeah, doing a job, getting the paycheck.
Yeah, and we'll talk about her more in spoilers. Obviously, there's reasons and motivations and things that they do. We can talk about in spoilers, but you really didn't like her later in the movie for sure. It was there was some interesting messages in the movie, and I don't know. I liked that and didn't like that at the same time. But what if they don't have messages in the movie? What you have is just a super generic superhero movie. So that's the problem. The double-edged sword there. Kind of corny. There were some sweet moments. I thought it was funny. I thought the action was good. I thought it looked good. No.
No, CG was bad.
Oh.
Suit looks bad. His powers in general are lame.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I mean, the powers thing, that's my own opinion. That's obvious. That take it or leave it. But the CG did not look good, especially Voltron looked terrible.
Voltron,
the villain at the end.
Villain. Oh, okay. I don't know if
I
seen
mean,
Voltron.
the suits, the bad guy suits in general looked terrible. The CG looks bad.
I don't know why I didn't feel that way.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I like bad stuff. I don't know. Yeah.
I'd say it's like the same CG as Flash. It doesn't look as bad because it's like robots and stuff. But if you use the same CG to make a baby, perhaps, it would look like utter garbage.
Well, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yeah, I think like that scene where it's basically body horror, where he gets the scarab or whatever. I thought that looks good.
Yeah, well, most of that was just practical until the suit comes on. Like with him just like in the being hung from the ceiling and stuff.
I don't think obviously that was practical. It's like coming out of his eyeballs. And
yeah, obviously like the CG of his like body being changed, but him getting like thrown around and stuff makes it look all right. But the suit itself and having like the black stuff, it doesn't look great.
Oh, okay. Weird. I don't know. What did you think about the action?
It was all right. Just like it just was like a CGI fest at the end. So I think it had a terrible third act that brings this movie down for me a lot. I mean, we were going towards that. We knew it was coming and everything. That doesn't help it, but I didn't enjoy the third act. I thought the first two acts of this movie were way better. And the comedy was just great. So
yeah, I think the emotional core of this movie was the family. I think the mom did a good job. I think the dad did a really good job being like the patriarch, head of the family. Mm-hmm. The people, bringing people back, calming people down and whatnot. He did a good job of that. And then there's usually a grandma that is like the matriarch of their families, and grandma did a good job.
Yeah, I'd say the whole family was good. The only one that didn't was the love interest. Wasn't that great for me.
Oh, the only one that I was a little weird on was the sister. I thought the sister was written a little weird. Try to make her
took a fancy dump or something.
Yeah, they try to kind of make her like edgy, and I think, I think this is it is a adult male writing for a young female, and not really understanding what a girl like that is actually like. I think they're just kind of projecting whatever. I don't know.
It was fine. That one, I see what you're saying, but that didn't bother me.
I feel like she was just like, I'm loud and obnoxious, and I think
she was, but I think she did a good job at doing it.
Yeah, well, and she has some good acting moments later, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired of that character, and there's men and women characters that are like that. It's just like, I'm loud and annoying, because
Mhm.
you got to have that one that is loud and annoying and the one that's quiet and sweet. Like,
Mhm.
like super bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't like Jenny, huh?
Mm, I mean, she plays her role for most of the part, but she's just like, I don't know, just like, I didn't really like their chemistry all that much. I liked him, but they just, when they're like talking about her past and stuff, it's just like, okay, whatever. And then at the end, she's like, oh, now I'm on a motorcycle. I'm the cool gal now for some
Yeah,
reason.
she's super cool. How dare you?
I'm the CEO and I drive a motorcycle because I'm the
Yeah,
part of the people.
yeah. So what's your rating for this?
I think I'm at a 6. Um, I do think it was above average. I was at a 7 until the last act. So
Yeah, the first two acts are very strong for me. Yeah. Yeah, I could see where the third act would bring it down, but the third act brings it down to a 7 for me. I think I was higher than that. So,
I
um,
mean, I liked it, but it's still, even the first act's still super generic. It's not like
I,
nothing we haven't seen
yeah,
that do, but there's, like I say, can't do that much about it. So
I think that this movie originally was supposed to be on HBO Max. So, and then it tested so well that they put it in theaters.
yeah,
So I can see why they did that, because I thought this movie was good, and I think hopefully it'll have some legs. I don't know if it's going to. I'm hoping it's not like a bomb, because I just think it would be unfair, and then they're going to be like, "See, Blue Beetle's the death nail," like this, And
yeah.
it's not because it was like a bad
That's
movie. It's just
that's how it's
because,
gonna be. It's because people are tired of bad DC movies.
yeah, I just think the timing is bad. I think this, if this one had come out like a couple years ago, before like every single movie straight was bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
Yeah,
just how it is. You can't change how it came out.
yeah.
So
And also James Gunn saying like, "Hey, none of these matter. We're gonna do it again. Start anew." Doesn't help
yeah,
either.
well, that they're dumb decisions that
Yeah.
they made.
I don't think James Gunn might not even be able to get to doing his crap, because it ran it into the ground before that. I know that he didn't make any of these movies or whatever, but his decisions.
He should have never announced anything about what he was doing with the new going forward. Like they should not have said Henry Cavill's out, but all these people get to stay and all this moment. They should not have done that. They should have just kept their mouths shut. And when they were ready to say who's in what, long after these movies were out, that's how they should have done it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. All right, let's get into spoilers here, because there is actually a few spoilers in this movie. Okay, let's see what to talk about first. So the family aspect. We can talk about the families. Uh, two
Favorite.
families. Two families here. The Cord family, who are basically
Those dirty chords.
those are basically the Starks, and because they made weapons and then they stopped making weapons, but she wants to
Mm-hmm.
make weapons. The Victoria Court, the aunt of Jenny, who's his love interest. And then, yeah, so it was weird. They like go to like this estate or whatever, and there's like a beetle cave or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I liked that because it was like it seemed like 90s neon, like Power Rangers cave. Maybe that's what I thought was fun. Maybe I just liked that stuff, like Spy Kidsy.
Yeah, I didn't say I disliked that stuff.
Yeah,
It it had some charm to it. Yeah,
yeah. I think I like the physical sets. I don't know why this movie was that expensive. I guess maybe just all the CGI. I don't know.
yeah. They had a lot of CGI in this movie.
Yeah. But yeah, so you have the, and then she tells about the mom dying and stuff. And then like Ted Cord's her father, and he was given the keys to the castle of the thing, and the aunt was mad about it. So that's why, and the aunt wants to go back to
The old
weapons.
ways.
Yeah, so and she's a bad guy for that reason. And apparently she's just a really horrible person. She like bombed people in Guatemala and like took this kid.
Calls Sanchez the whole time, even though that's not his name.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to see like Harvey Gillen in the movie. He's had a few good movies come out. Right? He was the voice of the dog in the second Puss in Boots movie, and he's in What We Do in the Shadows and stuff like that. I know you haven't seen them, but they're good. But
what are
yeah,
you talking about? The other
Sanchez.
That guy.
Sanchez.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Yeah, exactly. And he had a little bit, he had his redemption.
Yeah. I was like, you probably should have redeemed yourself, I don't know, like 20 minutes ago so you didn't die. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would say he should have, unlocked the door and then like dropped a bomb in there or something, and then ran out and closed the door. So
it was just kind of dumb. At that point, it shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have turned it. You were way past your point of redemption.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Weird timing for some reason. So there was that family, and then you had the Reyes family, and they're not a big fan of the Cords because they're basically gentrifying their area or whatever. I did like the city. I thought the city seemed very well established, Palmyra City, and like their the metropolis part, and then the outer part. It's definitely like Miami kind of feel, I think, is what they're going for. Originally, the Blue Beetle is in Texas. They're in a place in Texas, the city, not like kind of Miami, but they live on El Paso Street, so I'm sure that wasn't a mistake. Kind of giving a nod there. So the reason why I might have a problem with the sister is because they go try to find Jaime at the house, right? And then they like burn the house down accidentally, and then the sister falls down and she's like, "Oh, I've fallen and I can't get up." And then the dad has a heart attack trying to save her. And like dies, like actually dies.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? What?
It really wasn't necessary.
And it was sad. And then he's like, but he like helps him. He's like, it's not your time. It's like very sad. And I was like, no, that's
so cheesy with the whole him being in dreamland or
Yeah,
whatever,
like
and then he's like, "Oh, the planet thing that I'm standing on is exploding. Let me run and jump all cheesy like and
it's
grab the thing."
it's not heaven, it's the universe there, or whatever.
Whatever it was,
I will say,
I knew it was coming. They didn't need to kill him. I don't think it was necessary, but
yeah,
yeah,
I don't think so either, and it made them really bad. Literally killed the dad pretty much. Made you a real villain. Was like, but he did a good job. The actor who played the dad, and I did really like when he goes into the room and then with all the candles behind. I thought that was a really cool visual, and that's very like Coco esque with the
I feel like the whole reason they did that was just for that visual.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I thought it looked really, really good. I don't know. I guess I'm sentimental enough to be into that.
That's what you are.
Whatever. It doesn't bother me. I guess I'm I don't have a heart of stone. I guess. That's on Netflix right now. But I don't know. So yeah, dad died. That sucked. The mom did a really good job. The sister was fine. And then the grandma. So let's talk about the grandma. I think she did a really good job, bringing them back, centering them, it's like, this is not the time. We have to go and do what's right or whatever. And, and then they were like, she's like my rebellious past. And I liked that she was like, this is the plan. I liked that. But her with a minigun was so cringe and so, and he's like, I'm not a killer. And then they
just start murdering
family
people.
Just decimates people.
Yeah.
There's like one that they have the big bug thing that they're riding in, and it stabs that guy, and he's like, bah! And they're just trying to get the
and then they're trying to shake him off, and they're like, yeah, that dude was definitely dead.
I'm not a killer, but my whole family, they're stone cold killers.
Yeah. Not sure why they decided to do that, but they did.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why he's not a killer is because they had to do, for whatever reason, the other villain in the movie had to swap to the good side.
Yeah.
In the last 5 seconds.
There's a lot of darkness in this movie that guy, there's definitely a blood splatter. I know that you don't see that as red or whatever, but it's definitely blood when he gets killed, and then and then he literally drags her into the flames and then explodes. He's dragging her to burn alive, basically. Some real darkness, and
we don't get to hear her.
Yeah, we don't hear that or anything, but it was pretty dang close. It was about as close as you can get to that. The where they show his memories, I think they did a good job with that, but it was like, whoa. And then you literally see his mom get engulfed in flames and die in a fiery explosion. And I was like, whoa, I was not expecting the thing. So that, like I said, they're giving us messages in this movie. And I think I like that there are important messages to tell, but it's just what's crazy to me in this movie. It's not what I was expecting from this movie. But I'm fine with it because I kind of like that they have some messages.
They also do one of the things that I hate in movies where they're like, I'm right behind you. You go ahead. I'll meet you at the ship. And then they obviously don't do that. They did that 4 times in this last fight. And people keep leaving the ship and then going back and forth, just teleporting. And then there's like endless amounts of guards that just come from nowhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I wasn't paying attention that hard, I guess.
I mean, George Lopez has to leave the ship to go help, and then he has to go back. He has to leave the ship to throw one rock and then just teleport back to the ship. And then the grandma's out there doing her thing with the minigun. And yeah, like you said, that was pretty cringe. I laughed at it, though. But
oh, I thought that was super cringe. Like, it was just so ridiculous.
well, they did it kind of twice where she picked her gun. And then they had to show her go.
And then she like takes her hair down. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked her emotional moments. I don't know. There's just like things like these actors.
I liked the cringe though. So
they have these actors do these really cringe. That was a great dump I just took. Oh no.
Yeah, that was pretty cringe.
And then
you're fired, toilet. I liked that line.
Yeah, like, and it's like funny how they're like, I took a spectacular dump, and then later in the movie they're like crying, oh no, my dad died. Like the weird,
tone shifts.
Yeah, that they have these actors. Like, I was like, clearly these actors can act, but I don't know. It makes them look bad.
I deserve a luxury dump.
I thought that was so weird. It's like, that's not going to go well, obviously. Where have I seen the girl who's the sister before? I know I've seen her before. And I will...
When he's changing into Blue Beetle... George Lopez is like freaking out and stuff. His like screams or whatever were hilarious.
Yeah, I think there was the correct amount of
like having him say like it's gonna crawl up your butt or whatever.
Yeah, they had the correct amount of George Lopez in it, I think.
Yeah,
because they could have definitely went off the deep end on that.
Yeah.
So I think they did the right thing with him, and him actually helping with tech because he's so off the grid makes sense. Yeah, I think there was good stuff here. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. But I do like the guy from Cobra Kai, so I was going to give it a chance no matter what. This was the one that, honestly, other than Shazam, because I can't say that because I like Shazam, I like The Flash. I was so not happy about the Flash Ezra Miller situation. But I was looking forward to this just because I like the guy from Cobra Kai and stuff, so I was curious to see, and I think Blue Beetle's an interesting enough, different, out of the box kind of character that it could have been good. I like the kind of the power set, even though the power set kind of just seems to be whatever needs to happen. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, I'm at a 7. I would recommend it. I would see it in the movie theaters, unless you want DC to just die. I guess wait for it to be on streaming.
That's what I would have done.
Alrighty. Well, I guess Andrew's made the stance of DC can die then.
I don't think I'm the only one there, but yeah.
All right. Oh, well. I guess.
I definitely, if I was not reviewing it, I would have never seen this in theaters. I would have never gotten the chance to.
I think it was a good. Oh, this coming up Sunday, the 27th, is National Cinema Day. So $4 tickets. So you,
$4 tickets everywhere.
yeah, pretty much. A lot of the theaters are doing it. A lot of the chains are
Are they
doing it.
showing like different movies, or it's just the same?
It's going to be whatever the movies are out. I'm sure I'm sure over the weekends they usually do, special releases or whatever. But
yeah,
this is definitely a movie for $4. I think it's worth it.
yeah.
I think it's
Sure, $4.
I think it's a good like afternoon movie. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure what who's actually doing Cinema Day, but I don't know. 3,000 theaters are participating, so that's good. That's a lot of theaters. I know my theater's doing it, and I think the chain here in Arizona is doing it. So we'll see. So go out to the theaters, and because I think with superhero movies dying could hurt theaters if they just start making a bunch of crappy horror movies.
Yeah, well, those are the only movies that make money. So
yeah, so we'll see what happens. But yeah.
All right, well, we will see you guys on the next one.
See you later.